said, so hopefully they're recording.
And I said, I have no Verizon. Then all of a sudden light bulb went on. You're not talking about that 1950s Bell telephone stock. She goes, yeah, that's it. So when they send me the paperwork, I have to.
Boy, that's gotta be worth something from 1950.
It's only 6 shares and it got reduced down to 1/8 of a share. It's nothing. Alright,
Alright, call the meeting to order at 7:05. I think the attendance is apparent. We have the minutes. It was in the package. Any comments? Motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Okay, moving on to Clean Water Operations report. Nobody's here to do that,
I
but
have no clue, cause I was in communication with them on Friday. Something may have happened, okay,
alright,
whatever it happens to be,
great, well, this could be a record short meeting.
this is.
So I had a question, he's not here, he can't answer the question, but maybe you know. The last thing on this invoice for $5,670, service performed on March 3rd. What was that for? Was that one of the things that we previously approved?
I think so, but I'll have them confirm that.
Wait,
That
where are
it's-
you, March
it was-
3rd,
yeah.
service performed? NAP,
Yep. Cause NAP, yeah, that's gotta be the, but I'll double check and have them fill it out.
I liked it when we used to get copies of the bill, you could look at the invoices.
Actually, I think we got copies of the bill, I emailed them to you, but I've been trying to save 26 pieces of paper.
Oh,
Yeah. When he sends it to me, I forward it, but I will double check that.
okay.
Yeah, cause he gets so many of them, it's like,
No, I understand,
I
no,
didn't
I
look-
understand, but,
I didn't look beyond that, yeah.
yeah, I didn't either.
yeah, okay, I'll make sure it's attached.
No clue what that is? NAP,
No, I think it's the work that we approved.
alright,
It's nothing else, we haven't done anything else.
Way back in February too.
Yeah,
March.
yeah, very,
March 3rd.
Oh, February 28th.
Yeah.
February.
Yep.
February 28th.
oh, right, yep.
yeah.
Alright, well, that's that, let's go on to the budget discussion.
So far, our requests are still in the bid. So. Moving forward, they had was it this weekend, the big powwow to cut and
Yeah, I think
cut and
so.
slice and dice if they decided to?
Yeah.
And our land use budget is still intact for the WPC.
Is there a public hearing this week? Or was that already? There's a public hearing coming up soon.
Coming up,
I did hear that if the budget was approved as presented by everyone, it would be a 5 mil increase.
But most of that was due to salary increases,
no, I don't think so.
that's what I heard.
Yeah, absolutely not. But when you have
6
certain
million.
items that are $1.5 million each and they have 8 wheels. Just saying. But anyhow. We're still in there. I mean, all we asked for was engineering to and rehab the lines and for the roof on the building.
So what I had said at the last meeting was, how do we bet? Our bills go out for October 1st. Correct? Or they go up, yes, they go up for October 1st. So if we were to do a rate increase, how do we back into that? What's the latest date that we could meet to decide, yes, we're increasing the rates?
I would say that's your May meeting, cause then that way we can hold a public
That's
hearing. The May meeting.
May.
Yeah. Yep. And we haven't gotten the final audit yet, cause I wanted to do that to confirm her numbers with what, you know, she said and the audit says to make sure we're on the same page. We were obviously a lot better off than we thought, but, you know, if you ask somebody and they don't tell you, it's kinda difficult.
And hopefully by
Yeah, and okay, so let's
May
talk.
meeting, we would know better, cause the first budget referendum is May 6th. We would know better whether we were gonna get what we asked for or not.
Yeah, my concern on that is, what do we have, 150 EDUs?
184.
184 EDUs, so if we increase it by $20,
I think you'd,
we're getting $3,600.
I think you'd have to do $50, which still is.
Even still,
Right,
I mean,
still
it's
not.
just like, it's
Mhm.
like we have just no room.
Yeah.
Even at $50, I mean, it's better
It's
than.
not even getting you nine, to 9 grand.
It's not
or
even
50.
close.
Yeah.
It's not even close to
Yeah.
getting what we want, so
No.
that's something that I think we need to think about.
Not much to think about. I'll say it for the record, I've been very consistent. I was told when I was hired in I was told when I was hired, and I was told again in 97 that when the sewer system goes in and everything else, that we're going to get out of the town office complex and have a boatload of EDUs.
Right,
They're our
so,
own worst
so,
enemy.
so what's the point of raising the rates?
We had to though, we raised the rates from 700 to
I know, but if
1250.
we go to $50, it's still not, it's getting us nothing close to what we need.
Proposing 100.
I'm not proposing anything, I'm just, it's like, it doesn't matter how much we increase it. It's not gonna cover the cost, so we've got to deal with the town and figure out how we're gonna manage this stuff, because there's just no way that we can do it with the customer base that we have, in my mind.
No, I agree.
And the whole system was built on the premise that it was a benefit to the whole town, which is why they paid for it in the beginning, with the agreement that everybody would pay for the maintenance, operation and maintenance costs.
Which has gotten out of control.
Yeah,
Well,
but it's
because
kinda gone
it-
beyond that, it's into capital,
It's in the capital, and that's the problem.
right?
We originally, when everything was brand new, built it up so that we had 100 to 125 in spare, set aside to deal with capital issues.
Yep.
And the ratepayers were supposed to pay for operation and maintenance. When you talk about O&M, that's what Will does, with the service and the testing and all that stuff. But it's not to, replace
Replace
pumps,
valves,
replace major
pumps,
equipment.
generators.
All of the major things that are, that's not Operation Mason, your daily, oh, okay, this needs to be,
So I think
Adjusted.
that's sort of the justification for saying to the town, is like, these are capital costs, this is not operation and maintenance, this is a repair of the system, and it needs to be capitalized and paid for by the town, which,
How much did we ask for in this budget?
we asked for 50 plus the roof and the engineering and the modification of the system after approved to have some relief access points.
well, that whole thing with the problem down at the pump station, right? That was $100,000+, right?
Yeah.
How much? 180?
I don't know, this is my narrative. It wasn't
Yeah.
180, no.
thought it was
Okay,
60.
so whatever, it
No,
was
it
like
was-
$100 and something thousand dollars.
No, I thought it was 62 or something
Yeah.
like that.
We were pretty efficient, considering all the work that was done.
Yeah, we used the local guys.
So I just had a client that they had a clog in their line that they didn't expect. What? No, really?
Oh no, I know about this clog in the line. They spent $400,000.
Over $300,000.
Clogging a line.
They couldn't get to it. So they did all the cammering, they did all the boring, they went all the way through it. And it turns out the clog was on the bridge that was attached to a railroad track. And they couldn't get permission to do it.
This was close.
Huh?
This was close. It was in the brook.
Yeah, it was in the brook, but this one was, this
You
one
know
was,
about that.
I have sources. It was, and also you make it
So I
even worse.
got the railroad permit to do the emergency work, but still.
But they also have cross lines that was into another town, and another town wasn't too cooperative about this whole process either, which made it even more difficult. And they couldn't even get lines
No, they had
long
to
enough
pump,
to
they
clear.
had to pump out their pump station and take all of that stuff to another facility because the proper the receptor was not gonna take it because it was sludge or something like that.
And
So they had to
they
pay-
were working on their own parking lot, so they couldn't have the trucks hauling it.
You got better.
Oh, I
you
got
better
that,
info. You
yeah,
got better
this
info
is-
than I do.
Yeah, this was a,
300 grand.
and it
Does
was
this
all because.
Serve a community, or this just served one person?
No, it serves it's in Lisbon. It serves the entire development there, that whole mall area. I don't know if you know, I'm not that familiar with that area,
And
but,
supposedly the whole mall area didn't have proper grease traps,
right.
and then when it goes across the bridge, and it gets a little colder, that congeals.
They can't work on the bridge unless they have permission from the railroad.
And they also didn't have any inlets to, intercept and clean. So they
They
Yeah.
couldn't reach it.
couldn't reach from both sides.
Speaking of that, you still wanna do that down in the village, you wanna put Flushing.
That's what I asked for the Board of Finance for, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, every
It's safe.
fourth year we can come in there and, dead of the morning when everybody's still asleep and suck it out and, be done with it. Yeah, because that compacted so hard. When you have a guy that's been there for 30 years and he tells you, I've never run into such hardness of sediment. Because usually this thing just goes right through.
They couldn't reach the clog from either end.
Yeah, that was their problem, they couldn't reach the cloud.
Right.
That and you couldn't get a truck with enough
And it
water.
wasn't that far from the treatment plant. It was like just a mess. But that's how fast things can pile up, just like we saw. You gotta pump stuff down, you gotta have a pumper on board.
Yeah, they were doing what, 18 trucks a day,
Something like that.
because it was a total clog. So, yeah,
18 trucks a day, oh my
Yeah,
god.
and they're on standby the whole time.
that's either 3 or 2 12-hour shifts, either way you look at it, that's all day long, 24 No breaks, cause it's constant and it serving the whole community.
Yeah, that whole mall there in the Lisbon Landing.
Alright, so we'll see what happens with the budget. Go from there.
Yeah, so I suppose that, there's some room for a rate increase, but it's not gonna solve our problems.
And why don't I do this and kind of talk to Will about breaking down what is really O&M and what has been major expenditures like in the last year.
Yeah.
That are capital things that he would
Right.
consider,
Yep.
I think that, like a meter going out, that's O&M. Major pump that's 12 grand or a total new generator, those
Replacing
sort
the
of
fire alarm system,
fire alarm system.
when they replace the computer that operates the plant, that's really capital, that's not.
Right. Right. Alright, good. Well, the only other thing that I have is that we have vacancies on this board.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for a succession plan. And as I look around the table,
You're the youngest, you're out of luck.
I think I might be the youngest, and I don't think that's a good place for us to be. I think we need to get some new members on board. So, you know, if we could have that in the minutes that we're looking for new members and new leadership.
No,
Well, let's take bets on who's the first to go.
Oh, boy.
We're all in the mix. So no, we definitely have to get some new blood on this commission, and we need to get some transition. I think it's I've been on this board for over 30 years. 30 years.
We'll have to have a party.
It's ridiculous.
don't be proud, he's been down at the Opera House for 52.
I know, well, that's his fault. And
30
this
years is
this
your
is
fault.
my fault, exactly. That's why I'm trying to take some proactive measures here to like get this moved along. Alright, with that, I think we can entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor, aye.
I.
Go.
7:21.
That might be a